Namaste. Today morning we have done the Havan for global good, and since it was generated for Gita Saramsa Havana. And as I said earlier, every morning I get a message on which deity I have to do Havan for. And today was Lord Krishna. So when he said, can I do it for Mula Mantra? He said, no, you have to do for Gita. That is where I will feel very happy. So I try to then say that it is yesterday was Chandi Havana. It was very difficult for me. So will you please help me out with? Then he said, okay, pick some 4 chapters which includes the tattva of Bhagavad Gita, and you can start from there. So I have um, got the response from the Google that chapter 2, 9, 12, and 18 are the most important chapters which can help us with the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And since we have done Havan for it, I thought we should at least discuss certain esoteric things on this Janmashtami. So, to begin with, as you all know, there is this Kurukshetra war. So, be it Durga Saptasati or Kurukshetra, the war here is not the actual war like we see like the war between Pakistan and India and stuff. It is a war, even though there are these characters like Pandavas and Kauravas, and there is a fight between these two elements. It's mostly the war between the your higher nature like virtues and your lower impulses like vices. What are vices? In our past life, we do have make some decisions because of our karmic imprints, and that in this prarabdha is the reason for our persona and our being, where we do certain things easily and we don't do certain things, and what we do certain things is what we feel is right, and what we avoid is what we feel is dangerous to us. But that's usually not the divine aligned self. Whatever is this self that we have today is coming mostly from vices and not from virtues. So, whatever are the daily struggles we go through, be it anger, laziness, fear, confusion, greed, these are all Kauravas in our life, which we fight eternally. And every decision, like choosing the good virtue over bad, selflessness over selfishness, is like a everyday battle, a small battle we have in our own mind, which is our Kurukshetra. So every day we do have Kurukshetra that is happening within us, where we do have to choose or realign with virtues, letting go of vices, even though it feels comfort, even though it feels good, because we are so used to be that being, but not necessarily the divine aligned self. And hence, Arjuna is me and you, who is super sincere, very good in nature, but then confused when it comes to taking action in the face of conflict, which is our inner self is saying, do this, which is our Krishna, but the Arjuna in me wants to avoid that pain, difficulty, any tough decisions, choices, uncomfortable choices. All of this is something which there is an Arjuna in us, where we always are confused what path to take when we are faced with that internal conflict. And that dropping the bow of Arjuna is like he says, right, Ammo, I can't fight in this Kurukshetra war. I don't have any energy anymore. Ammo, I'm scared, I can't do it. Is our own hesitancy in that phase of that decision that we have to take, good versus bad. So when we feel weak, overwhelmed, or lost, what action we take? Oftentimes we try to avoid, escape, and say, I can't do this, which is coming from our vices. So Arjuna is always a representation of our own inner conflict when we are put into this phase of facing our reality, which is often um, there to help us to evolve at a consciousness level. And Krishna is our inner divine light, our higher self, we can also call. So that's that voice of the wisdom that I keep saying all the time, that when you do our sadhana and when you reduce our inner noise, the I in the head slowly calms down, then there is some inner voice of wisdom that is very feeble that comes out. That is the voice of our divine. It can be Krishna, it can be Durga Ma, it can be your favorite god, whoever speaks to you. But at this point, since we are talking Bhagavad Gita as a context, let's take that inner voice, the voice of wisdom, to be Krishna. That we can say our consciousness, or we're concise, or our intuition. Okay, it can sometimes feel like a whisper that says, not even a whisper, very subtle, that says, okay, do this. In the phase of we are to do something right, what we always do wrong at that place, then that says, I know it is very difficult at this point, hold on, do it, go ahead, don't give up, keep going. These small messages that come when the time of conflict we get, right, that is the Krishna's voice, which says do what is right at that moment, though it is not easy. And that reminds us that yes, why we have to do this path, why not the other path? Because in the later chapters of Gita, we do understand the Karma Yoga, which do talk about the effects of karma and the cycle of birth and death. And hence, what Krishna says is the soul is eternal. This body is like the clothes we wear every day. It has no beginning, no end. And we need to play our roles that are given to us in this life without fear by embracing our inner courageousness. And if you look at Pandavas, only five. Why five? Because these are inner virtues which are very precious, because always there are very few. And Kauravas are so huge. That is means 100. So our inner enemies are so many, negative tendencies are so high for us, but divine qualities are so low. So what is Yudhishthira representing? He is representing the truth and righteousness. The Bhima is representing the strength and determination, and Arjuna, focus and devotion, Nakula and Sahadev, purity and discipline. So these are so few in number, right? But then Kauravas, they're like a lot. Duryodhana, super on arrogance and pride, just like Mahishasura. Dusasana is uncontrolled desires and lust. Shumnishum. Karna, though he's a very noble person, he symbolizes misplaced loyalty to ego-driven tendencies. So when you are good by nature, everything is fine, but then your loyalties are placed always with ego-driven tendencies, you will become Karna. Did Karna go through all this? But did he is ever considered to be Pandavas? No, though he is considered to be coming from Kuntima, still he's still a outsider. Why? Because his loyalties are not with Dharma, with Krishna. It is with Kauravas, the ego-driven negative tendencies, our own inner enemies. So these are all like Kauravas are hundreds in number. Why? Because there are so many small to big vices that always distracts us, pulls us, puts us into a loop of confusion, chaos, negativity, and um, stagnancy. So that is the reason. These are what the um, power power um, Kauravas and Pandavas represent. So this is like a, a small teaser. Now if we get into the chapter 2 in specific. Let us see what are the key esoteric takeaways. I'm just putting it shortly so that at least when we are doing the Havan, we know why we are doing and what is our takeaways for it and how we can imbibe it into our day-to-day life. So what is it? So as I said, when you lose something, when I lose something, when I have to face something, when I have to, I'm talking only the practicality aspect, okay? I'm not talking it from a divine aspect. I'm talking it from a practicality aspect, as how you can make it part of your, these teachings can make your life better by overcoming your own vices or embracing your divine wisdom inside you, which is your Krishna's wisdom. So when you lose something, or when you face some change, or when you are um, when you are when you are at the phase of conflict, you need to understand that I'm first my spirit and body is second. So I need to act on my inner wisdom, not what my mind is talking about. So when I do that, it eases some kind of fear and grief of loss or whatever, and puts me into the action of dharma. Second is, I need to do my work. I do have family work, I do have career work, I have some duties, I have some tasks to do at every day. And I can do it as much sincerely as possible. But the moment I don't get the results that I expect, I collapse. So the chapter 2 also talks about how we do our duty to the earnest and not get attached to the outcomes and results. Why? The results are aligned with our lessons to be learned in this life. So the more you, if the actions that you are taking are not aligned with your divine alignment, whatever are the actions you take, there seems to be a substandard outcome. So, and it when it is aligned with your divine self, the outcome is very nice. It is like the outcome is very as you expected. So that can give you a sign that whether my action today is aligned with my divine self or coming from my vices. The moment you see that your outcome is not um, as expected, that means somewhere in the line of actions that you are taking, something is not coming from light and love. Something is coming from fear, anger, jealousy, pride, arrogance, ignorance, these kind of vices. So it gives us a window of introspection when things don't happen the way we are expecting. But at the same time, when you don't attach a meaning out of that outcome, then also it is liberating. So what can be a philosophical undertone that you can take? This is existing even before, and this can exist even after. I'm just in this journey like a transit. Okay, so I don't have to be so attached to it. Let me see from an eagle's eye on how to solve this and then work on it. So when I am not attached with the result, I'll find thousand and ways to find the same path, giving you the same outcome that you expected may not be the way you wanted to take. I wanted to go to, say, Hyderabad to Vijayawada or whatever, and there are multiple planes that come, right? You don't have to take only that one flight that takes you from Hyderabad to Vijayawada. So you can take any other routes. But if you're so um, stuck on, I need to travel from Hyderabad to Vijayawada, Hyderabad to Vijayawada, Hyderabad to Vijayawada, only in that path. Perhaps divine want you to take a detour and take you to different experiences to gather more virtuous traits for you to enter into Vijayawada. We don't know, right? But at this point, since you're not arriving at Vijayawada, you get so lost, you get so taken down, and you feel like I'm not at all supported also. And for that, what is that we have to do? We need to align ourselves with our dharmic alignment of the inner wisdom